Hey guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm here with Vicks today. All right?
Hello.
Yeah.
Good.
This is your first episode today, interviewing someone. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm really excited about this.
It's been a long time coming. I'm really excited. Stu is someone who I met here and there, but I never really. I mean, we sat down and chatted. He's come around my house for a cup of tea and stuff but to get on the podcast is going to be interesting. So yeah, you've done lots of research. You got lots of questions. You know, you're brimming with enthusiasm about this one.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he's an amazing guy. I've been, looking into him and doing my research. And yeah, I thought, well, I want to be a bit of a pro interviewer, and I've got to work on this. And it's we'll see how we do. And lots to learn. What
do you think when it comes? Because obviously Stu is a lot about business, and what do you think the everyday sort of mannerisms, behaviours, and where it comes to like confidence thing, what do you think when the business world sort of bleeds into everyday life? I mean, do you feel like there's something we're going to learn from this? That because when it comes to businesses, you've got to have that kind of confidence in there. Maybe Stu's going to sort of teach us about that.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, I think it's sort of like how you present yourself, how you come across. But also being authentic, because I think people can see, what's real, what's not, and what's put on.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, and also like in this place, it looks the business, doesn't it? I mean, we're in the studio right now at Shropshire Business Suite. We're waiting for Stu to come in now. This place is amazing, isn't it? It looks great.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, look at the studio. It's just amazing. I love the wood paneling, and they've got a brilliant screen that you can put your logo onto. The equipment is really high quality, high tech. I love these chairs as well. This little swingy chairs.
I've been swiveling since
I've been swiveling, but they're nice. Like sort of like feel like I'm in a nice exclusive bar.
I feel like an egg in an egg cup, but in a nice way. I mean, it's like cupping my buttocks quite nicely. I think so. I mean, I think you can hire this out. People can just hire it out, but we'll find out from Stu. Anyway, we've been rambling on for a couple of minutes now. People really want to hear this. I mean, seriously, this podcast, I've been waiting a long time to do, so I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy it. So buckle in. This is Stuart Woodings on the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.
Fabulous.
Hey, that was weird at the beginning there. That was great for sound. Hi guys, welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm Al.
I'm Vicks, and we're here today with Stuart Woodings, investor, developer, mentor, multi-business owner, multi-award-winning property investor, and I'm really excited to be with you today and to meet you today.
Thank you very much.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having
me. We met at a food festival like 3-4 years ago where we did like a little Vox Pox thing. But since then, I think we kind of almost fell in love with each other in a way that we respected each other from a distance, and it was kind of nice. We had like a really nice moment.
I saw that glint in your eye, and it's been following me around ever since. Likewise, it's been reciprocated.
Yeah, I think what you do is fantastic because when it comes to business and things, you are so enthusiastic. You have so much energy. It's kind of almost scary because you're kind of like, you I don't think you like give people ideas. You throw them at people and you go with it. Do you know what I mean? And I like that. It's kind of good.
Yeah, I think the thing is if you're going to kind of make a decision on something, just run with it. But it's all calculated risk. I've always said this. I use that word a lot. And the thing is, if you have an idea, most people won't move forward for the fear of failure. But the thing is, if you can work out the failure part and the success part, it's fine. It's calculated risk. You work out the good, the bad, the process, and once it's like a map.
Amazing.
So if let's say if I have an idea here and I want to get to the end result here, I know the part in the middle is going to be pretty crap. It's going to be a lot of hard work, late nights, everything. But the reward outweighs the risk. So if you break it down, you're fine. And that's pretty much what I've done with everything.
I've just read a book recently actually called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. And that really came to mind when we were going to be interviewing you today. And for you to just open up and start saying that, because I was thinking, is it a case of feel the fear and do it anyway? But then you're saying there is a calculated risk, but people have got to step out of their comfort zone and really got to be able to move forward. And like you say, it's a calculated risk, but they've got to be willing to make that step first. And that is quite fearful, quite scary.
It's mindset. I think the first thing is because we are all, sadly, the generations that have passed, it's not a bad thing. It's always been the same thing. Okay, look, get a job, get an education, get a job, get a house, get married, have a kid. And if you're lucky enough, you'll be fortunate enough to retire by the age of 55. That's the lottery win. But the thing is, you'll be working for an hourly rate every day, every week, every month, and that's it. So your wings are clipped. And the thing is, what people don't realize is if you're able to think outside the box, if you're willing to throw yourself into stuff, there's a much bigger world out there. And the thing is, the better that you get. I mean, my life's changed dramatically in the last 4 years alone. Although I've been in business for myself for over 20 years, and I'd like to think we've done okay. When I got into property, it kind of made me see things in a completely different way. Excuse me. And also as well with regards to my confidence, because I've educated myself. I've spent £97,000 on training courses in the last 4 years. An obscene amount of money. When you say that to people, they look at you as though you're mad. But the return that I've got from that is bonkers.
That's the Mr. Beast method, though. Mr. Beast, if you don't know who Mr. Beast is, he's one of the biggest. He's one of the biggest YouTubers, but like he didn't just do it overnight. He literally read the pamphlet on YouTube. He literally learned how the algorithms work, how everything works with it, and he put it into effect. And now look at him; he's one of the biggest.
Huge.
Yeah.
I always say this. So I had a lady message me last night saying that I don't think I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. I said, okay. What do you do for a living? And she told me what her job was. I said, do you remember the very first day you started that job? And she went, yes. I said, how many years ago? She said, 13 years ago. I said, okay. Were you scared? I was petrified. Why? Oh, because it was my first day. I said, but why were you scared? And she said, because I was scared if I was going to get it wrong. And that's what stops people. People go, I'm not going to try because if it goes wrong, that's it. It's going to be terrible. Well, it's not. If you get it wrong, you learn from failure. I have failed so many times. But I've learned so much. I've learned what not to do.
Yeah.
So therefore, it makes me better for the next time. So I'm happy to. Failure is part of the
humbles
process.
you.
It does. It humbles you. Yeah. But it's part of the process. You have to fail to succeed. Fact. And then eventually, you get to a point where you go, well, actually, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because if I do that, I'm going to fail. But if I do this and do that and do this, so eventually things just become a lot easier. And then you get to a point where there's a turning point and things get a little bit better. So. And hopefully that's where we are.
Nice. Well, I said to Vicks, what we need to do though first at the beginning is find out where you begin. I mean, where does life begin for you? I mean, are you Shrewsbury born and bred? Are you from outside? Where'd you begin?
So, grew up in Telford, originally in Broseley.
Right. So that's the end of the podcast.
See you later. Check your wallet. No, it's not like that.
No, we like Telford.
And we moved over here in about 91, and just kind of went to primary school, left there 1996. First job was working in a glass factory, Triangle Windows, and then kind of moved up and did that. Early 2000s, stupidly got myself into a bit of trouble, and not that I promote this, but I had a drug addiction for 3 years, nearly cost me my life. But I'm a svelte 16 and a half stone now. At my lowest point, I was 9 and a half stone.
Oh, so,
yeah. So I've been rock bottom. Believe me, I've been rock bottom. Stories I would never want to talk about in the air, that's for sure. But what it's done, it's humbled me.
Yeah. And I love that because one of my heroes when it comes to podcasting is Kevin Smith. Made a lot of movies. I did the first podcast I started listening to, and he'd do one every week with Jay Muse, Jay and Silent Bob, if you know those movies, Clerks and all that stuff. Yeah. And Jason Muse had a really bad addiction. So they got him clean, and then he created a weekly podcast where he, in front of thousands of people, would be like, are you sober? Are you dry? And he did. And he went and did amazing things because of it.
Yeah.
Like from that point where you're rock bottom and you've got that addiction issue, you can then build on yourself. That is like...
Well, it gives you a reason you don't want to go again. It gives you an anchor point because I don't want to be going down that route. There's no two ways about that. And as I said, for me, it's just made things better because now everything past that point is good. It can't be bad. It's always got to be better. So when I came out the other end, I was very fortunate, got myself in a better place. I just decided to focus on business. And it took me years to find something. So I was in the motor trade. I was having lots of fun. Then I went into the jewelry trade. My stepfather basically wanted to sell his business, and he had a little tiny shop in Welshpool, and it wasn't doing great because Welshpool changed and what have you, but he wanted to sell it. And he said, look, had you fancy becoming a jeweller? I kind of laughed. I went, no, not at all. No intentions of becoming a jeweller. And
don't eat carrots.
Don't
See what I did there.
And so he basically just kind of, about 9 months later, he kept going on saying, look, do you want to think about it? I was like, no. And then eventually he kind of talked me around it. I thought, well, maybe there's some mileage in this. You know, what was I, 27, I think I was at the time. And I thought, well, maybe we could try something new. I had no intentions of, but maybe we'll give it a shot. And the rest is history, really. So came into the business. The business wasn't doing that well at the time. And I think having a new face in, we doubled business in year one. So we went from kind of, almost breaking even, losing money to, okay, now we're making money. And then the second year we doubled again. It was like, okay, well, maybe we can go somewhere. Then 3 years later, or 3 years into it, 2007, 2010, we had an armed robbery, a pretty bad one, pretty, vicious one, if you wish.
It must have been scary, terrifying.
Yes and no. It's weird. I'm very fortunate. I can kind of shut off from things. And it just happened. And that was it. Just had a massive fight with these guys, crowbars, CS gas. They threw me into a cabinet. I threw them into a cabinet. It was pretty bad. But what that did, it kind of put the spark in. Do we actually want to be here again? So we stayed there for another year. But what it allowed me to do was to come over here into Shrewsbury and open up a shop. And then we did, and it went really well. And then a year later, we opened up another one. And then a year later, we opened up another one. And then we just kind of kept pushing the business. County Goldsmiths, Woodings and Co. is what it is now. It's one of the biggest jewellery shops in Shrewsbury. We're having fun, and it's allowed us to grow that. But then it's allowed me to grow other businesses.
Amazing.
Like the property side of things. We've got Shropshire Holdings, which is the only safe deposit box facility, which people don't know about. So we've got kind of fingers in different pies and doing different things. And it's just allowed growth. But for me, from the property side of things, whereas we've really kind of seen a huge difference, we were never going into property. We had no intentions. COVID was what pushed us into property because obviously no one was buying jewellery. And it was a case of, well, the only people that were allowed out were, what were they called?
Key workers.
Key workers.
Like me. I was a key worker.
There you go. So some people were locked in their houses and couldn't go out and couldn't go for a jog and all that.
Some of us had to go home to work. I mean, the roads were amazing. It was like I Am Legend. It was just like...
It's a strange time, wasn't it? Very, very... When you look back now, it's a very strange time.
Absolutely.
But it got to a point where we were like, well, what are we going to do? Because we only had so much money. The rents at the time, we didn't own the buildings. So we were still paying rent, and rent was £10,000 a month. And then you had the government subsidising you to a point, but not enough.
And then you got to pay your electric, your internet bills, your plumbing,
everything. Yeah. Everything was going out. And the thing is, when you've got a lot of staff, you've got big buildings and so forth, money goes. And when you haven't got much coming in. So we had to make a decision. And I was sitting there having a coffee with my wife one day. And she said, what are you going to do? And I went, I don't know. I don't know. And then at that point, I think it was a plumber's van go past, followed by a builder's van, followed by an electrical van. And I went, I'm going to buy a van. What? I'm going to buy a van. What? I'm going to buy a van. We're going to buy a house. We're going to do a house up, and then we're going to do that. And you don't know anything about houses. I was like, yeah, but I'll learn. I didn't know anything about houses. I had a drill and so forth. And that was it. And then we just found a van as quickly as we could. We snuck out the house where we could buy that van, got back. I've now got a van. I'm allowed out. I'm a key worker. I'm a builder. And then we bought a house, and then we did it up, and we were able to sell it. And it's just kind of snowballed from there, really. So we've gone from a little 2 up, 2 down to multi-million-pound sites. We've got a £5.5 million site in Yorkshire on the go at the moment. We've got them up and down the country, and obviously we've done this. We've just bought our shop over the road. We're just growing, really.
It's amazing, and it's so inspiring to the listeners as well to see that where you've come from, and you've been at that rock bottom, those really hard times, and to see that you can turn your life around and that what you can progress to now. Yeah. And now you're such a philanthropist. I can't say that word. I did well then, didn't I?
You had to go at it. You had a good run at it. I really like that.
You like to help others.
Yes.
And I think that is something that really attracts people to yourself. And I just wonder, where does that come from? Does that come from, who helped you in your life? Who helped you up?
I mean, my family have been brilliant. We weren't rich by any means. My mother worked very, very hard. My father wasn't around, so she had 3 jobs. And I think for me, one of the biggest things for me is I used to see the struggle. Even when I was 8, 9, 10, I could see my mum struggling. And for me, it doesn't cost you anything to help someone. It doesn't. It's just information. People are very selfish nowadays. I don't care. They're just kind of focusing on themselves. Yeah. And, people just see monetary value in someone for what they can give to you. And if they think that they can make a quick buck out of you, they'll ruin a friendship, they'll insult you, they'll hurt you just so it aids their life. And I don't want that. I think if I've educated myself, fortunately in the fields that I'm in, I've done okay, and it's put me in a position where I can help people. So, I've helped people financially. People have helped me, excuse me. But there's also the fact that I can have the ability to teach people, help people, because there's nothing better than, if you help someone. If I was to help you and you go, thank you so much.
You have helped me in the past.
Well, there we go. Great. And that's it, isn't it? It makes you feel good as a person. And I think the thing is, if you can keep helping people, it goes around. If we could all help each other, the world would be a better place, wouldn't it, really? And yeah.
Absolutely. I think we rise by lifting others. That
Totally.
should be the ethos, shouldn't it? So I love quotes. I'm a quote guru. But
Was that yours, or did you
stole it?
You stole that one.
It's a good one to steal.
That's a really good one. What I like about you is with your content. By the way, if you're not following Stu on Facebook, and you're on Instagram as well.
Yes, yeah.
Your reels are really good because you're teaching people to sort of read between the lines when it comes to sort of certain myths and sort of misinformation that there is in the building trade. Certainly when it comes to money, because I saw one of your where you're like, you don't need £1 million to make £1 million. You don't. Yeah.
You don't. The thing is, what people don't realise, and a lot of these gurus, a lot of these kind of these trainers, if you wish, they keep all the information because that's how they sell a course. Now, for me, yes, of course, we want to sell a course because I've spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort. I'm willing to sell a course, but what you get in return far outweighs what you would get anywhere else. So they keep a lot of this information to themselves. So it's, come on my course and we'll give you this information. Well, I'm going to put the information out there. It's going to pee a lot of people off because it's like, well, why not give that a little bit? Because you might think, I'm never going to go on that course but if I gave you a snippet, if I could show you how I bought this building with no money, you'd go, is that even possible? I go, yeah, of course it is. But if I showed you that first, you'd have more confidence to think, okay, fine, fair enough. Let's go and sit down and have a chat with Stu. And there is a way.
Yeah.
There is a way. This property, I put no money in. The property over the road, I put no money in. The other properties I put in. The last 9 properties I bought with using hardly any money. It's a rinse repeat. Because I've been on all these different training courses, £100,000 later, people go, that's ridiculous. It's not, because I've now taught myself a way that's allowing me to create a multi-million-pound, business, if you wish, without the need of having millions of pounds in the bank. So we're actually going to prove this. We're taking on, we've got a famous person coming over in the next 6 weeks, and sadly they've hit rock bottom. Something's happened to them, and I said, not a problem. I'm going to train you. So we're going to take them from zero. We're going to kind of make them a multi-millionaire, hopefully within
0 to hero.
And I'm glad for you inviting me along. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Congratulations. Here you are.
Soon I'll be in the money. Biscuit podcast everywhere. Yeah.
So we're going to try and prove it, because then the thing is, you can't hide away from that. And, I'm putting myself, providing this person's willing to work and everyone that comes in is willing to work, you can change your life.
And that's why I love what you've done here with this place, the Business Suite, because like in Shrewsbury, it's tanning shops, nail salons, vape shops. I mean, they're great if you need them. If you really want to vape and do your nails and go to get a nice tan and a haircut.
Plenty of those.
This is something that can help people feed their family.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I wanted to create, bear in mind, this was never supposed to happen. I was never supposed to get into property. This business centre, if you wish, business suite, was never supposed to happen. It's just organically happened as we're going along.
I love the story of how you described the guy that kept pestering you to mentor him and train you, to train him up to sort of into property development. And that's how it somehow snowballed into this. So explain that story if you can.
So basically, one of the guys came to me. The group that I was in of about 5,000, I was kind of at the top because I was just very proactive. The only reason why I was at the top was because I'm like a bull in a china shop. If I want something, there's nothing going to stand in my way. I'm going for it. If I have an idea, it drives my wife mad. If I go, I've got an idea, she's like, oh, come on, no.
I'm going to buy a bar bus, a bar bus.
Buy a bar. And that was it. So I just kind of I was just kind of going on with life, doing my thing. And this one particular guy, we're good friends now, he got in touch and he said, I'd love you to train me. And I said, I don't have the time. He's like, yeah, but I only need an hour a week. And I went, I can't even give you that. I just don't have the time. He's like, look, I'll pay you. I went, you can't afford me. He went, no, I will. I'll pay you well. I said, you can't afford me. He went, I'll pay you this. I went, right, you start next week. I said, that's fine. And that was it. I thought, well, actually, and then I looked at it, I thought, well, maybe he's right. But then I started investing my time in him and his time into me. And we created this great kind of friendship, and it's just worked really, really well.
It's really nice when you can have that confidence to say, you know, I can teach you that. I've been asked by multiple people, and I don't mean to sound like, about like giving podcast talks and help courses and things. And I suffer from imposter syndrome. I'm kind of like, well, who wants to hear from me of all people? You must. I know you're very sort of linear in what you want, but you must deal with people that have imposter syndrome, that kind of lacking confidence to do that thing. How do you coach people along with things like that?
I have that.
You do it.
Yeah. Of course I do. We all do. It's a normal human trait to have. I mean, I sat here the other day. I did a coaching course for 20 odd people, and I absolutely capped myself because I thought, how can I be teaching these people? But then I had a moment of lucidity. I thought, why can't I teach these people? Because the information I've got in my brain is exactly what they want from me. So then it kind of comes back in the room. But yeah, people will only question themselves if they don't have the ability or the information. So it's one of two things. It's either someone that's pretending to be someone, or someone's just questioning themselves. We question ourselves every single day. It's human at the end of the day. We do. We get up in the morning and we think, are we right for this? Do we want this? Do we want that? As I said, for me, I've questioned this so many times. Do I want this? But then when you start seeing the results, you know, my guys, my mentees are getting great results now, and they're changing the way that they're thinking. They're going from inverted people that are shy, that are embarrassed, that are scared, to they're coming out and they're changing and they're thanking me profusely. You know, one person said the other day, she grabbed my arm. She said, it's an honor to be working with you. She said, I genuinely mean that. She said, I'm so grateful for the information that you're giving me. And she said, it's literally life-changing. And she said, I'm so excited for the year ahead. She said, because you've taught and shown me something that I didn't even think was possible. That's amazing. It. Do you know what? If I don't do anything for the rest of a year, I've helped one person. But then all these other guys start coming going, thank you. And then you start getting the messages. That's the reward. It's not about the money. It's about you're changing people's lives. And for me...
reputation as well. I mean, like, people see these reels like me and Vicks have been looking at, like, people were like, this guy knows his stuff. He knows what he's talking about because he's done it, and he's willing to share the information. So they're going to sort of graduate towards you rather than away from you.
People buy into people as well, I think. And I think you're definitely very personable. I think you come across with such integrity. And I think that people buy into people. And I think you're somebody that, you know, I would definitely buy into. Do you know what I mean?
I appreciate that. I think honesty and integrity is the word we use massively. It's actually in our training book. Honesty, integrity, all these things are so important because a lot of people just see you're worth XYZ to me on a yearly basis. You're worth XYZ. Your friendship is worth more money to me and how we can work together than it is the monetary value, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So therefore, I want to work with you in some way, shape or form, as we are now, in order for it to benefit everyone. And I think the thing is, hopefully people see that. I've got lots of friends in the community and what have you, because I don't need anything from anyone. So I don't have anything that I need to take from them other than hopefully help them. And that's it. And I think that's the way it should be.
I've got a really deep question. I mean, normally I ask people, and I've asked this many times, you get loads of weird answers, great answers, but what do you learn from more success or failure? But I'm going to go a layer deeper with that onion and say, when it comes to working relationships and failures in those relationships, do you learn from success or failure? Because you know, you can go wrong with someone because you don't know them, you know?
Oh, huge. I could tell you stories about people. I'm very big on relationships. For me, a handshake is everything. I've lost copious amounts of money on deals going south because I've honoured the agreement. They haven't. Recently, I lost £39,000 because friends whom I'd known for years. Yeah,
I saw you put. Didn't you put something up?
I probably did.
Yeah, or you probably told me about it.
Rage or something like that. So
I think you came around my house, didn't you? I think you were probably telling me. I don't know.
I was probably telling you about it. But yeah, you know, they decided to make a decision that we were doing something together, and I caught wind that they were going to do something. I thought, this is bonkers. I've known these guys for 4 years. So what they did is they chose a friendship, or they chose money over a friendship. The crazy part is it failed for them dramatically. If they would have kept on,
Karma.
which is wonderful. It is karma. If they would have stayed with me, they'd be doing pretty well now, and they wouldn't be in the positions that they are. So for me, I walked away from that, and I walked away comfortably. But what it made me realize is, when you're in business with someone, it's a marriage. And it just goes to show, I knew these people for 4 years, and we were solid. We were traveling together. We were doing everything. But when you bring another person into the mix, or 2 people or 3 people, whatever it might be, you have to know who you're jumping into bed with, I suppose, in a term. You need to know who you're working with. For me now, I just work on my own, because I can trust myself. I trust my family. I trust my very, very small circle of friends. The one thing that I have found, the more successful you become, your circle gets much smaller. People get very jealous. People are jealous of your success. They're not jealous of the hard work that it's taken to get to that point, because I work long hours. The gambles I've taken are just offensively ridiculous and scary. They don't see that. They just see the nice house, the nice buildings, a nice car or something like that, and they think, I've worked for that.
I think that's why it's so important to do these kind of podcasts as well, for people to understand as well where you came from. You had a drug addiction, that is huge. And to get to where you are now, it just shows and tells people that this is possible. This is not just for you. This is for me. This is for you. This is for them. This is for everybody,
Yes.
There's that opportunity. And also you sort of said that things happen for a reason.
Yes.
Everything happens for a reason, and you seem to be a strong believer in that.
Oh, huge. I was very fortunate in September time. I thought, I'm going to treat myself. I've worked hard, I've sacrificed, I've sold, I've done everything that I could, and I thought, I'm going to buy myself a nice car. And it was between an Audi RS6, nice, family day, fast car, or a Ferrari. And I've always wanted a Ferrari. And I thought, do you know what? Can't really afford one at the moment, but I'm going to do it. I'll find a way. And I chose, I've got the pictures, I'll show you in a bit. An hour and a half later, I won those cars in a competition.
Oh my word, wow.
Those exact cars. I spent £52 on some tickets. And
one of those raffle things.
yeah, those exact cars. And
did you sort of manifest it then? What did you do?
yes,
Tell us.
I'm huge on manifestation. People don't realise, and people go, it's a load of codswallop and what have you. Manifestation is probably one of the biggest and best things you could do. I've had a mood board for 4 years now. People that, if you don't know what a mood board is, it's pictures, it could be anything, it's something that you want to achieve in life. That mood board is exactly what you see in my life. It's a snapshot. It's the car, it's the business, it's the training academy. And bear in mind, I did this 4 years ago. So if you keep manifesting these things and thinking about them over and over again, it becomes the norm. Now, you go one step further. I envision myself driving that vehicle, getting in that vehicle, the smell, everything. You break it down, and eventually these things start to come. And it just gets crazy. We won a trip to Vegas recently. I won a training course somewhere else worth £5,000. And it's just this continuous roll of, if you believe, it will happen. And it does. But people just think, oh, no, that's a load of what have you. If there's one thing you can take in life, get up in the morning, look in the mirror, say, I'm great, I'm wonderful, I am this, I am that, and your life will change. And it sounds ridiculous, because we get up in the morning, most people go, oh, I can't be bothered. Oh, I can't be bothered going to work today. If that is your mindset, change your life. Change it. If
There's something not quite right, yeah.
There isn't. If you're getting to a point where you don't want to be somewhere, why would you be there? You're going to be there for another 5 years, another 10 years. What's your goal? And we've become so consistently hard on ourselves. We just go, well, that's the only way. That's the only job I'm going to have. This is all that I can do. You can't. There's a bigger world out there. You just educate yourself in something else.
I've always thought every action that you take has a reaction. So if you take no action, you're going to get nothing.
Correct.
If you take an action, there'll always be a reaction of some kind. And usually it's positive, 9 times out of 10. You said that you had a few things happen that almost fell through. They were so close to falling through. And it was almost like the power of the universe stepped in. So was that another scenario where you sort of felt like there's some sort of greater force helping you here for things to just like you could have lost a property or lost a lot of money, but then it's fallen back into place?
call it the gods, call it what you wish, call it religion. I don't know. So the cars that I won, the Ferrari, I was going through a project. I was brought in on a huge project, £5.5 million project in Yorkshire. And I was brought in as a consultant because they were struggling to get it done. And I was helping them. We got to about 9-10 months into it, and we found out that they weren't in a position to purchase it, and they were going to lose their house because it was there was a lien against it. They were going to lose their business, their job, everything was going to go. And there was many different investors involved in this deal as well. So I agreed to take it on. In fact, the finance company didn't even want to deal with it. They were like, no, we're done with it. So I kind of forced them to have a conversation with me. So with regards to that, I took it on, and it's been an absolute nightmare. Now, the issue that we had, I said we, it's the royal we, the issue that we had was the roof needed to be replaced. The roof was £300,000. I couldn't get it done because I've got so much money invested in this place. We're still going through this. There's multiple sites. This was costing me £15,000-20,000 a week.
Gosh,
to get this thing done. Scary. So I was potentially going to lose this deal. Well, I won a Ferrari and an Audi RS6. So I had about £300,000. So guess what? I sold them. I paid for the roof. And then
Epic.
It is. So it allowed me, whatever happened there, it allowed me to continue. And to the point of now, we're potentially going to have a sale on that, which means that I could go out and buy the cars back if I wanted to. So,
and this is right. Okay, so I've just written down judgmental people on here because I don't know what it is in our human nature. When you see someone with the shades on and the hair flowing, hat flowing or whatever, or we're both follically challenged in the Ferrari, yours go knob. Like when they drive past, but you don't know what the person's done to get that Ferrari, what they've earned. And if they saw you in a Ferrari now, but maybe after listening to this podcast, you might realise that you've actually sacrificed an awful lot. You actually sold your Ferrari to get a Ferrari. You know what I mean? That's
literally, the thing is, people would look at you and go, oh, God, he's just showing off. I won it. You could have won it. The person that's saying that, they could have won it. I spent £52 on tickets, don't get me wrong. But the next one I purchased, which I will, because you have to have something. You have to have a reason to get up in the morning to do your job. Now, it might be a materialistic thing. My things have shifted now. So for me, it's holidays. It's spending time with the kids. It's going away.
Making memories.
Yeah. And that's the most important thing.
investing in yourself.
Yeah, of course. Yourself and your family. But I will buy myself another car. But the thing is, it will feel so much sweeter because I didn't work for the last one. I just bought a ticket. I was very fortunate. But it allowed me to pump the money into something that I am working very, very hard for. And then I can buy another one. So, yeah, it happens for reasons, but people will judge you. That's life. The thing is, people will always see the big things, the shiny things, and think, whatever. Those people can make a change to their life.
Tell us about how you're going to help people here at this academy. It's incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good. So essentially the property training academy that we're going to be doing, obviously we're going to be renting it out to people that want to come here, the podcast room, they can use this as well. But from the property side of things, we're going to be taking people that want to invest in themselves. They want to change their lives. And we're going to show them a way of how they can become successful using property as a vessel. Because most people always want to, if I said to you, would you like to get into property? You'd be like, oh yeah, I would. But in fact, here's a question for you. Why don't you get into property?
I don't know enough about it. I watch enough Homes Under the Hammer to realise that's probably all fluff.
It's a lie. Yeah, we're going to refurbish this house for £6,000.
Yeah.
You think? You reckon? Okay, good luck on that.
Dion Dublin. Okay. But I don't know enough about it, and I don't have the capital to put down on a house.
There we go. Those are the two things. So you won't go and look into it because you don't have the capital to start. But you don't have the capital to start, so you won't bother looking into it.
It's a paradox.
It is a paradox. So you'll just stop yourself and you'll carry on doing your day job, and that's it. So what we do is we show you a way of you don't need either of those, because we're going to educate you, but we're also going to show you a way of utilizing getting that money, because there are so many different places out there that you can get it from. But there's ways that you can structure deals. As an example, I made 4 phone calls in front of my trainees the other day. I had 4 positive phone calls back. And that means that they wouldn't have to put a penny in. So people go, oh, it's all codswallop. It's not. It really isn't. And I welcome anyone to come and sit down and have a conversation. Come and grab a coffee with me. It's not a problem. I'll show you exactly how it works.
That's amazing.
But then the thing is, it's not just, I could tell you how to do it, but it's implementing that. So what we do is most of these training academies and what have you, they do a 7-day course. We're going to do a 12-month mentorship. So we're going to hold your hand. But I'm going to
need that.
Well, this is it. I know, because people go, well, I want to get into this, but I'm scared and I don't know how to do it. And the thing is, if you get it wrong, it can be bloody expensive.
They say that if you score a goal in football is because you wanted to score the goal. You knew you were going to score that goal. If you miss, it's because you had that doubt.
100%.
It's a good metaphor, that, isn't it?
I like that one.
Yeah.
The thing is,
My son was like that.
self-belief is the biggest thing that you can have. If someone says it can't be done, I'm going to prove them wrong. That's my mindset. I've got a fantastic mindset. I always have done, but certainly in the last few years. And that's not because they go, oh yeah, but the thing is, it's easy for you. I get this all the time. It's easy for you. Why is it? Oh, because it is. Because you got loads of money. I haven't got loads of money. I haven't got loads of money. It's invested. I'm probably poorer than you guys here. But I have assets because I've created assets. I've created ways. On paper, I'm doing okay. And the bank account is probably terrible. I haven't looked.
Sleepless nights.
But the thing is, I work, I get up at 7 a.m. and I'm still working probably 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. Because I worked out if I put an extra 4 to 5 hours in every single day, you put that over a yearly period, I'm just working probably 2 to 3 months more than you. So imagine what you could do if you focused yourself every single day for an extra 3 months. If you could have 15 months in a 12-month year. And that's it. I just work harder than everyone else.
If I have a stressful day, I got PTSD anyway. So it kind of like, if I have a stressful day and it kind of affects me, I need the next day to sort of reflect and react and just simmer down and calm down. What you're doing right now sounds like you've got people walking around doing things for you, building things for you. You've got people in different sites here, there, and everywhere. There's a lot of stress involved in that. How do you process that and carry on going?
I don't think about it. And that sounds ridiculous. People look at me and go, what? You don't think about it? I don't think about it. Because if I did think about it, I'd have PTSD. If the reality hit, I'd be like, oh God, this is quite scary. So it's just a course of action. I have to get from here to here. And no matter what I do, I have to do it. Now, if I have clouded judgment, if I start panicking, if I get scared, I'm not going to help myself because I won't be able to think straight. Everything that I do is either calculated or it has to be worked out in such a way that it keeps the wheels turning. If I go, I can't do this, then everything folds. The machine stops, the engine stops because there's no one there to drive it. And I'm the driving force behind it all. So I just make things work. I get every single day, I have a situation that I've got to deal with. Perfect example. I've just had the roofers that are doing this huge project, they've split up. Another one saying, well, we can't honour that deal. I'm like, well, you've got to honour that deal. Well, we can't do that anymore. So we're going to walk off. All right, walk off. It's huge. It's a huge project. It's 37,000 square foot. Well, if I'll just find a way around it. And the reality is you could sit there and some people would go, this is the worst day ever. Oh God, this is terrible. This is going to crush us and what have you. Or it's, I'll just go find someone else.
So when there's a problem, you're always looking for a solution.
Yes, I'm a problem solver.
Or an alternative solution.
There's always a solution. People, in your darkest parts in your life, in your darkest times, should I say, I've lost friends that have sadly taken a decision that was the wrong decision before picking up the phone. If you're in a situation where you thought, you've had enough, if you picked up the phone, I could probably say, well, actually, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. There is always a solution to every problem, every life problem, every relationship, every business. There is a solution. So therefore, with that in mind, you shouldn't be scared of anything.
I think we all need a Stuart Woodings to carry around with us, don't we? Just to be like, my optimism, go.
Stop it. Slap across the face. Stop it.
I think you're right, though, as well. I mean, if it's something that means a lot to you. I mean, I remember Pod Aid, the second Pod Aid that we did. It was a 24-hour live podcast we did for charity. We would love to stay. And they'd hooked us up with the internet from the cafe, which times out after 2 hours. So we started the show. It was going really well. We had the cameras and Charlie Adlard and Mike Perkins just walked in, and I'm letting the team do this interview. I'm walking around, I'm organising things. The internet dies, right? All the viewers that we got around the world couldn't see it, and I was like, oh my God. Normally I'd be like, right, it's over, pack up, we're going home. But no, I rushed around. I kind of banged on tables. I was like, we got people up there. You told us this, that, and the other. They sort of set us up on the main server. We had the fastest internet I've ever seen in my life. It was amazing. But if I'd have flaked in that moment,
correct,
it would have died. But it's because that meant a lot to me. I wanted to make that money for Lincoln Davis. I wanted the show to work, and I manifested it. And I made it happen.
And that's all it comes down to. All it comes down to is, but it's true. That's all it means is that you've just got to find a resolve for whatever problem is, life, family, money, anything. You can just find a way, and that's it. That's all you need to do. So yeah, it's good fun.
So who else can actually use this fantastic space?
Anyone.
anyone can hire it.
Yeah.
Other businesses.
Not for parties, ideally. But the thing is, I mean, this
Be a
is
great party though.
Biscuit party.
right, wouldn't it? Christmas do. I think there's nothing like this in certainly not Shrewsbury, but possibly Shropshire, because this is pretty high tech. The stuff that we've got in here is very, very cool.
It looks amazing. Like Tony Stark would be happy in here.
That's what we were going for. I wanted this kind of industrial New York loft apartment kind of look, but with all the tech that we could, like we've got this podcast room. If someone
sounds amazing, by the way. Listen, no echo. Sounds amazing.
no,
It's very stylish as well. I said it's similar to the Sydney Opera House. I mean, you can't get a better compliment than that.
Thank you very much. No, it's just.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Two Bears, One Cave, one of my favourite podcasts with Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. They had the wood paneling in the background. And one of the studios, they got I think Tom Segura's got this lockup with loads of different studios in that he uses for different things, and one of them is that it looks like this.
Two Bears, One Cave.
Two Bears. Oh, you would absolutely love it. Because they're like Bert Kreischer. I don't know if you know who Bert Kreischer is. He's the machine. I am the machine. He takes his t-shirt off.
Yep.
He comes across as a bit of a lager lout, but when it comes to the comedy world, he knows what he's talking about, right?
He's a smart dude, yeah.
Yeah, right. So he comes across as this blibbering idiot, but then he'll come up with this amazing like advice for up and coming comedians, and he'll be like, "Oh no, you don't want to go there. You don't want to go to that club." Or it's brilliant to see.
Yeah, it's very cool, and that's what I mean. We're going to be hopefully getting but we're going to be creating our own podcast as well, where we're going to be interviewing successful business people and just people in their own right that have done well. They've worked hard. So I think it's good to get that. And obviously, hopefully you guys will be part of that as well.
Well, this is why I invited you on the show, Stu, to stay off my turf, right?
Sorry.
No,
it's all yours. It's all yours. I'll just turn up and stand in the corner.
Very exciting though. I think it's really good. I know Aaron Child's doing some amazing stuff with Flammable Studios over there. There are things moving with the content creation and the podcasts.
Yeah.
But it's exciting to see. I remember standing up and being like, you don't know what podcasts are with Shrewsbury Bid, back in the day, like 2018 or whatever. But I do a podcast. Now everybody wants to be in the podcasting world. It's really exciting.
We like to talk, don't we? I suppose the thing is we're all wind talkers at the end of the day. So, but I just wanted to organically create an environment that we can all use and have fun with. And I think, having this here is great, but having the conference suite is just something where it could be an accountancy firm, it could be a solicitor's, it could be a building firm. The great thing is, because of the tech that we've got in there, when you come in, you can literally style it as though it's your building. So like the screens, they're all touch screen. They're whiteboards, digital whiteboards. You've got speaker systems, everything. It's crazy what we put into this place. But it means that, let's say, if, you want to do your podcast, when you come in, you could hit a button, the lights dim where you want them to dim, your branding comes all the way around and what have you. So the thing is, people can rent it out for a day, it can be theirs for the week, it could be whatever they want it to be, really. But it's a great meeting point in the centre of town. And there's nothing really like this, because normally you've got to go above a building or up 3 flights of stairs, and it might not be the kind of look that you want. Whereas if I've got people that I deal with that are high net worth individuals, and if I wanted to impress them, I'd want to bring them somewhere that's quite sexy, and hopefully this place is.
I know this is all business orientated, but we were talking, weren't we, about doing some live Q&As with the podcast. That sounds like the perfect spot to do that. We can record stuff and then get questions from people in the audience, and even you can stream it as well.
Yeah, whole thing. Yeah, so basically we've got facial recognition cameras. So if you say, I think we'll hold about 60 people tops, average around about 30, 40 people comfortably, tables, or if you just want that kind of theatre kind of feel to it, so it's just the chairs. But we've got facial recognition cameras that kind of follow you around. So it means that you can, if you've got a business, you can kind of go out to the masses. You can have 1,000 people. Well, assuming you have 1,000 people on Skype, wherever it might be. But it's great for people that want to show their content, be it a business or something like this. They can reach out further afield. We've got everything here. And all they need to do is bring in their computer, or we've got people that will work with them. So I just want it to be a cool place for business, somewhere where people are proud to walk into. And just be able to help, elevate them and help their businesses grow, really. That's what we're looking for.
Fabulous. I think it's really exciting for the youth of our town as well, because you've got so much up and coming people, they're going to be the people of tomorrow. And you've got 2 daughters yourself. So it's really inspiring for them to look up to you and see what you're doing, and following dad's footsteps possibly, or maybe find their own journey. But I mean, there's a lot of people, like young people in colleges who are studying media and things and tech, and just think, to see something like this in their own town, how fabulous. I mean, usually they probably have to go to London, you know what I mean, somewhere further afield. But we're actually, this is what's amazing about Shrewsbury.
Yeah,
people like yourself.
Great. Thank you. It's great because the thing is, we kind of get forgotten about quite a lot, don't we, really, in Shrewsbury? So it's, there's not much for us like this sometimes. But there's a lot of business people. There's a lot of people that want to do better. And we might not have the time to drive to the likes of Wolverhampton, Birmingham, or further afield. So I just thought, well, why not? We don't have something like this. So
we're the county town,
I know. We've got a beautiful town, and it needs decent shops, decent businesses, because they're in the surrounding areas. But we need to bring everything into the town as well. So
with me sort of stepping away with the biscuit a little bit, sort of taking my foot off the gas a little bit, more to a gentle roll than the steady sort of pace I was going at, I realised that I haven't been in and around Shrewsbury for a long time with a microphone on. I'm walking around today going, oh my God, where's that come from? And this is a shop over here. And Vicks, like one of the things you've brought to the show is that we should be out in the community. We should be asking people, biscuit, or was it biscuit on the street? Or
yeah, the voices of Shrewsbury.
Yeah. Voices of Shrewsbury.
That takes the biscuit.
That takes it. And something like that where you can go and find out what people, what they want to talk about and make sense out of. So, I mean, there's lots of like noise on Facebook about this thing and that thing, the recycling centre, or the relief road, and also, and you get all these like arguments. Why can't we sort of like focus on like making sense out of all that?
It's all the negative.
Yeah,
you only ever hear the negative. You open paper now. If they actually had a paper called the Happy Times, it would never sell. It's true, though, wouldn't it? It would never sell, because the thing is, we want the drama. It's death or crash, robbery, all these decent bad things. So everyone winds themselves up. So whenever people are talking, like you said about the what do you say, the centre?
The recycling centre.
Everyone's kicking off about that at the moment, but everyone's talking about the bad. They're not talking about the good. So
I think a lot of good can come from it, though. These conversations are going to be totally positive focus, because that's what we're all about, isn't it, Al?
Yeah, we don't want to get a load of people going, oh, it's terrible. The pitchforks and chasing Julia Buckley out of a room because it was something they don't agree with. We used the recycling centre, by the way. We booked in, we went in, and we used it instantly. It was like my wife went in, there was no one there, and people were like, oh, there's no one there. I was like, that's because they used the booking system. It's more efficient.
People are scared of change.
Yeah, they are scared of change, and
we are creatures of habit. We don't like jumping out or getting out of our comfort zone, and we just don't like change.
But sometimes it's like where there is problems and things need ironing out or solving, and like you say, finding an alternative solution to make things work better. I think that's great, because I'm just like, the other one we wanted to talk about was like the education system. A lot of kids are being homeschooled and things going on in schools, issues that are arising people want to talk about. But there's so many solutions to these issues that are currently happening at the moment. Sometimes just raising that voice about it, that awareness, creates a bit more discussion for people to actually say, actually, we're going to take action. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Because without challenging these things and problems that exist, if we all keep silent, nothing changes.
Nothing happens. No, nothing happens. I think speaking with the bid today, and they're putting on exactly what you're talking about. They're putting not a festival, it's like a 3-day kind of event, talking about what's going on, because they said people need to be aware of what's going on as well. So I think they're doing that. I think the end of March, if I remember rightly.
I'll have to get in touch with them.
Yeah, get in touch. Really because it was, and they want to use this. They're going to be using this meeting room. They said it's perfect for what we want, because it's going to be here and within the square.
Yeah,
but it's bringing the attention to what's going on in Shrewsbury and everything else. So I think that's quite important. We need to see the positivity as well.
Yeah,
I think one of the things that really struck me as a surprise when I first started the biscuit way back in 2018 was the collaboration between businesses, even if they're of the same caliber. Like you've got like food businesses that work together. You've got Joel at the prison that'll work with the Sabrina boat. They're tourist attractions. They should be against each other, vying for people's money and stuff, but they work together, and that is one of the recipes of what is great about Shrewsbury. Have you found that in Shrewsbury? Is there people that you collaborate with, the people that inspire you with business?
Absolutely, yeah. Things we at our jewellery business over there, Candy Goldsmiths, Woodings and Co., we have goldsmiths there on site. So the thing is, some of the guys that are selling jewellery, there's lots of jewellers in town. There's probably about 7. If they come to us, we don't kick them out going, what the hell are you doing here? You're the enemy. We're like, yeah, it's fine. We'll help you out. It's not a problem. And likewise, if we need a chain or something that they've got, they're like, yeah, no problems at all. It's all about working together. The thing is, life's hard enough. Business is even harder, isn't it, really? So
and things are evolving as well, especially when it comes to the building trade, it's not...
Massively. It's changing all the time, the building trade. So there's so many rules and regulations, costings going up, and, people going pop left, right and centre. There's so many changes. It's just a very active kind of business. So you just got to kind of keep yourself at the front.
And of course, you're looking at out of the box ways of thinking to sort of keep people informed. We talked about the tech that's in there and the podcast here and stuff. Are there like bits of media that you enjoy, like podcasts? And is there something that you've seen when you were doing your courses that has inspired you?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of people online. I couldn't think of anyone off the top of my head other than yourself, of course. Of course. There's the money.
The voice of Shrewsbury.
The voice of Shrewsbury. And there's so much going on out there. For me, I'm so busy all the time. I just kind of keep my head down. All I do is focus on what I'm doing next or what I've got to do and so forth. That's it. So I don't really kind of pop my head out the parapet as such. I just kind of keep myself to myself and just kind of focus on the end game. It's only recently I stopped and when I looked behind me and looked at what I'd done and gone, Christ, we've done quite a bit actually. I've done way more than what we thought.
Yeah.
I mean, this place here as well, we've got 4 high-end apartments. Which I don't know if I told you about that as well.
Yeah, I've seen the where the clips have come from, right? On Facebook.
Yeah, up there.
Because you were talking about this is what I loved about what you were doing as well. Is you like we don't scrimp on flooring, like we get the quality flooring. Absolutely. Because that's where you make your money, right? That's when you offer someone a quality product, they pay a bit more.
Yeah, totally. The devil's in the detail, and what you put in, you get out twice. So the thing is, let's say it's easy for me to just put like a cheap laminate flooring down because it's a flooring. But instead, I think that was, say, £1,200. Well, we spent £2,000 and put a solid herringbone floor down. You walk in, everyone goes, ooh, there's a roll top bath. Ooh. There's this because that's the effect that you want. You want, if you're selling a property or renting it or an Airbnb or whatever it might be, you want people to walk in and go, oh my God, that's nice. And hopefully, when I show you around in a second, you'll go, this is lovely. And that's what we do. Every project that we do, we want to make it as nice as possible because we want that kind of, my God, that's amazing. That is so beautiful. We've done our job.
That's building your name as well.
It is.
It's they know what they're getting.
It's I'm trying to offer a quality product, and hopefully when people walk in to this place, they'll look at it and go, this is exactly what it sounds like from what we're talking about today. So it's fun. It's fun. Don't scrimp.
You've already held a first seminar here, haven't you? Called Poppadoms and Properties. Was it?
That's next week. So,
okay.
Property and poppadoms.
Sorry, I've got it wrong that way. I always think of food first.
So it's the fastest growing property kind of seminar meet, if you wish, in the whole of the UK. It's growing exponentially up and down the country. So we're as far as Scotland, well, they're as far as Scotland, as low as Cornwall. And they very kindly came to me and said, look, would you mind being a guest speaker? And I was like, I'm not really a talker, I'll be honest, but they're like, look, come on board. I was like, I don't mind, I'll turn up. It was probably more to do with the place that I've got more so than my my dulcet tones. But it's a great networking event. So people think it's mine. It's not mine.
So that's a collaboration there.
Yeah, it's a collaboration. So we've got a guy called Richard who's a HMO expert. He's going to be there with us. And it's just going to be a good night where people can get together. So what we're going to be doing each month is having a meetup about property, networking, finances and stuff like that and bringing speakers. Because again, we keep saying that word collaboration. There's lots of people out there that don't know that they exist. I could be standing next to someone in the street and he could be an investor. He could be a finance guy. He could be an accountant. He could be the person I'm looking for. So by shoving 35, 40 people into a room, it becomes a hub of we should get together.
And this is what I keep saying. There's so many people doing amazing things in Shrewsbury that have been doing great by themselves. Some doing okay, some struggling, maybe, I don't know. But if they all work together, they'd be able to push a product and grow. Katie Rink with My Shrewsbury, myself with this, and then you got Chris Pritchard with Shropshire Live. You got all these amazing people doing their things by themselves. If they all come together,
it's bigger.
Exactly.
Something bigger. Look at these big building firms that collaborate. They buy each other out. They become bigger.
Yeah.
These kind of things, you come together. You've got creative minds. Shrewsbury is full of creative people. And by bringing those people together, you can create some amazing stuff. I mean, look at Beth. That's everything that she does. Betty,
I saw her car earlier with the eyelashes.
With the eyelashes flapping around, yeah. But the thing is, that everything, she does a fantastic job. That's come from an idea. Everything stems.
Sorry, I'm really ignorant here. Who's Beth?
Beth Heath, who runs Shropshire Festivals. She's one of our greatest friends of the podcast.
Oh, fantastic.
You'll get to meet Beth. She's wonderful. I want to say thank you to Beth, actually, because we bought a sofa not long ago that was too big to fit for our doors. So we were like, there was no sofa because I had to take it away and we had to buy a new one. And so I was like, has anybody got any bean bags we can sit on? She was like, yeah, I got a thing full of them. So she gave us these massive bean bags to use while we waited for our new sofa. It was brilliant.
There we go. Thank you, Beth.
She's great. Thanks for saving my back and my arse for a bit. Like.
So I've got a question for you. So how do people find out about this place? Are you going to have a Facebook page, a website?
We are. Yeah, we're going to have a Facebook way. I mean, the best thing to do is if they follow me, obviously Stuart Woodings at first, like, friend, follow, whatever.
We'll put a link to your Facebook, your personal Facebook. You don't mind that?
I don't mind. No, we'll put it on the readout. So I've got nothing to hide. So it's good and bad. I don't put naughty things up on there as a rule. So it's just more really content that we're putting up. We're putting things about property, business and stuff like that, which is going to be associated with that. There is going to be a Facebook page. It's going to be either, we're not sure if it's going to be Shrewsbury Business Suite or Shropshire Business Suite. I've got to check. I don't know if there is a Shropshire
look out
Business
for
Suite.
those at the moment.
Yeah, so either Shrewsbury Business Suite or Shropshire Business Suite. We're obviously going to have the website as well. So that's coming as we speak. My wife's in the room next door. So in the meeting room. So she's kind of.
So is she the boss? She's the boss.
Is she gonna hear this?
I don't know if you're
She
gonna.
probably is. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
If she's not, then no. But no, she's the boss. She's the brains behind the stuff. I'm the person that just runs with it, and she's the person that keeps me grounded. I need someone to keep me grounded.
Does she have are you crazy face? Like when you come up with an idea and she's like,
Every time, because the thing is, my wife is very chilled. She likes to live her comfortable life, and I keep bringing the stress to her door. So I've got an idea, and every idea that I have, I seem to run with. And it just seems to manifest and get bigger and bigger and bigger. But she's cool because she's like, just calm down, wait, because I don't see that. See, I've got ADHD. It's a superpower. It's wonderful because it means that I can throw myself into something and I can assess things. And we're very good at problem solving. And someone could walk in here with a machine gun, start threatening, and I'd be as cool as a cucumber because my brain just doesn't think, oh, this is bad. This could be terrible.
I'm about to be assessed for ADHD.
Oh, there you go.
I just had a therapy session now. I was like, yeah, we need to, Alex, we need to do that quickly because I create problems for myself. What I'll do is I'll be like, we're going to do this here, this here, this here. Well, on this day, we're going to do 4 podcasts here in one day. And then over here, we're going to do this thing. And then I'll step back the next day. I'll be kind of like, what have I done?
That's what we do. We create a massive issue for ourselves. So having her, it's great. I'm also terribly dyslexic. So I can hardly even do my own signature, would you believe? So I am, and I'm not just looking for sympathy, nothing like that. It's proof that someone that's very uneducated, I left school with nothing. I think C was my highest grade. I did terrible because I couldn't do it. I just struggled with it, but I'm creative enough that I can work hard. And I think the thing is, even if you're someone that's struggling academically, it doesn't matter as long as you're willing to put the effort in and you find something that you enjoy, which is the most important.
You've got to be passionate about it.
You've got to be passionate about it. Most people, probably 80%, 90% of people that are doing their jobs, they're not passionate about it. It's just a job. Just stop. Just find something on the side and work on it, build it up, and then just create a job out of it.
That's what I love. That's why I know that this biscuit thing is like for me. This behind the microphone, because we've talked about this before. How like I can be like really nervous, and I can be kind of anxious until I get behind the microphone, and then I'm.
Well, it's your force field. This here is your barrier, isn't it? I suppose because something's in front of you.
Yeah,
it's psychologically, and I love psychology. It's wonderful. So this here, if I took that away from you, you'd almost feel open.
Yeah.
This here is a subliminal force field for you because it gives you power. So therefore, you're in a comfortable place.
It's mad though because I go from really like nervous to really kind of obnoxious in a way that I'm in control. Do you know what I mean? It's mad, isn't it?
Do you know why though? It's because go back to what I said before. This is your comfort zone because you have an understanding. See, if you said, Stu, these buttons here, I'd be like, oh, this is going to go.
I was just explaining to Vicks how the mics and stuff work, and she was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. But for you, it's like, just turn this and put that up. That's
Next episode, I'm gonna be like, right, you're on the ones and twos. Let's go.
Don't hit the red button.
You are my sensei when it comes to gadgets.
Yeah, and there are ways you can absolutely mess up with this. I mean, there's all sorts of like sound effects and stuff you can go wrong.
Oh, good Lord.
I'd love to press that one all the time.
You're staying over later. We get mine set up then.
I've got to be careful because there's some sweary stuff on here, but where's that? What's that one? I've got the typical bruh. And
Are you ready?
I need these in my life. Definitely.
My kids told me I'm not allowed to say bruh. I'm not allowed to say anything like that.
Bruh.
That's embarrassing.
That means you got to say it even more.
Yeah, just to annoy them.
Yeah,
When you walk into
bruh.
All right, bruh.
I've loved doing this because we did a Vox Pox at a food festival, and like I said, we've kind of danced around each other a little bit, and you're doing so well. I'm really proud of you, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing well.
I'm trying. That's the main thing, isn't it, sir?
And how do you think my co-host did today? So first one with a guest.
Amazing.
Oh,
She's
thank you.
far more attractive than you. I was like the first thing.
It's not hard.
But no, you've been wonderful. Thank you. Thanks
Thank
for
you
having me
so
anyway.
much.
So
I put all my jewellery on today as well because you're the jewellery man. I don't usually
For me
wear
to assess.
jewellery, so I don't assess it because it's rather, yeah, but anyway.
you were very sparkly.
Thank
I'm very
you.
honoured that you thought of me before you came down about
Thank you
putting
so
your sparkles
much.
on. So
Thank you. Haven't worn jewellery since my children were little and tried to strangle me, so it's a big step, you know.
that's a good enough reason.
I gotta say, I'm impressed with the spot, and I will inquire with using this spot again very soon, even if it's just to get the momentum going. Like, but have you got a name for this studio alone? Does the podcast room? And is it like
No, not really. It's crazy it may sound. It's just the podcast room. Now we will probably have a podcast and call it
the Sweet Suite?
the suite of the sweet, I suppose.
Sweet
But
Suite,
no, it is what it is. I think the thing is you can overthink something, can't you? But it is a podcast room, and you might come up with an idea. I might go, do you know what? That was perfect.
I was going to say Biscuit Studios, but you
Well, of course.
soften that, you know.
Yeah, of course. The Bourbon Studios.
The Bourbon Studios. What is your biscuit? What's your go-to?
Oh, goodness me. Custard cream.
A custard cream.
Custard cream.
Classic.
Is it a custard cream? Is that the one? You know, the little circular ones?
Oh, no, that's a jammy dodger. That is.
No. The circular ones with like the
You know about the foxes?
yes,
The foxes.
the crunchy ones.
Nice.
They do a ginger one as well.
That's one of my biscuits.
Oh,
They're really good. What about you?
Figgy biscuit.
Fig.
A fig.
Yeah.
Fig roll.
That was my second. I'm a diabetic though, so the problem is I can't have so much.
A fig roll can kill you.
A fig roll was a night in hospital. There's 2 or 3 anyway. So, but I'll bring some next time.
Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Thanks for letting us come here and record in this amazing studio. And I hope the listeners get involved with what you're doing, because I think it's really good. This could be like the starting point for a huge business that goes forward in Shrewsbury, you know?
Hopefully for people, you know, if we can change people's mindset and get them into a much better place, a more confident place, then what an amazing result that would be. So
Incredible.
yeah, well, hopefully we're all going to have a bit of fun.
Thank you so much.
Are we done?
Been amazing. I feel really inspired. I feel pumped now.
Me and Vicks are doing a little outro afterwards, so don't go anywhere. We'll say goodbye properly. But Stuart Woodings, thank you so much for
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
So there we go. I mean, what an amazing interview. I left this interview like wanting to know more.
Yeah, and me. I feel really inspired. It's like, it's just really got through to my soul, and it's just like I feel like I want to go out and I want to take over the world. I want to set up business meetings, and I want to come in here and we record more. It's just like, wow, it's incredible. It's had that effect on me.
It's exciting because when I first started doing podcasting, it was just an idea that people used to do with their laptops. I mean, obviously there are big, massive podcasts like your Rogans and your Kev Smiths and things that have like big shows and stuff. But for me and for this town, it was kind of small. Whereas now it's on the main, everybody wants to talk about podcasts and everybody wants to record it. Now there's a studio dedicated for that here.
Yeah. And it's like the glass doors that lead you sort of snuck between Waterstones and, in the corner there, in the middle. And you open the glass doors and the reception and it smells amazing. And, you go in, it's got this kind of Dragon's Den feel. I feel like a dragon might pop out in a minute, or I might be seeing Alan Sugar making a major deal. It's just there's this glass room, and it's wow, it's just awesome, isn't it?
Absolutely. And so if you want to book out this studio, if you want to use this place to hold business seminar, I don't know if it doesn't have to be like business, but I think if you want to use this space, find Stuart Woodings on Facebook or on Instagram, drop him a message. The social media for this place isn't up and running yet, but if you get in touch with Stuart, I'm pretty sure he can hit you up and get you on, because I think he wants to keep this place busy. This is why I think the Shrewsbury Biscuit's going to continue using this place for a little bit, just to give it a bit of momentum.
Yeah. And if you look up Shropshire Business Suite, keep your eyes open and eyes peeled for socials. And follow Stuart Woodings, isn't it? He's got a load on his page, hasn't he? I've been looking at him on Facebook, and it's incredible.
Yeah, brilliant. Now on to the, I feel like I need papers to shuffle like in the news. And on other news, next week we're doing an episode where I'm going to be the guest on my own podcast.
Yes. Ooh, I can't wait.
Recently I interviewed Sean Brennan Todd, who I know is great at presenting and great at speaking and finding the right words to say. And there's yourself, who's doing amazing at Shrewsbury Biscuit. So you two guys are going to get together and you're going to grill me.
Yes.
Which I think it's going to be an interesting one because the listeners are going to find a different version of Alex, I think. Because
it's delving into the persona that is Alex behind the microphone,
the enigma.
Yes.
The thing is, women like dark, mysterious men. I'm not mysterious at all. I'm kind of like, this is all my life, my flaws and everything. Here, look at this. Look at this and weep.
Don't be that.
But no, I'm looking forward to that. So thank you, Sean, for agreeing to do that. And you guys on the next episode will get to listen to that.
Yeah.
I've got to ask you though, how are you getting on with your homework?
Yes. No,
2 shows.
I am doing it. I'm not procrastinating. It will be handed in on time.
Yes.
And I'm really excited about it. Got some amazing things coming.
If people are wondering what we're going on about, I did task Vicks with planning two podcasts for the end of. Well, there's one a week, one next week.
Yeah.
And one a week after the end of February for you guys to listen to. So you enjoying like getting this all together? Is it a bit of a challenge? Or?
Yeah, no, it's been really wonderful and had such wonderful feedback, brilliant emails and contacts coming through and people absolutely looking forward to, can't wait to get on the show. So I'm just like, I've got to pencil in some more dates actually because I've had so much feedback and such a good response that I need some more dates in the diary. So does that mean I get extra A+ points for adding on to the homework?
Well, we'll see when you bring the guests on because I don't know who they are. They could be our Kevin from down the street. Who's got a really good Warhammer collection,
Okay, if one's my mum,
I always say if you've got an interesting story. I mean, we had a poet get in touch with us just a few days ago and I was kind of like, it was 2 nights ago and I was kind of like, oh my God, it was the sweetest email. Hi, I met you at a Shrewsbury game. I won't mention his name because we'll announce him properly. But he was like, I saw you at a Shrewsbury game. I'm a local poet and I want to talk about my locally themed poetry. And I was kind of like, yes.
Yeah.
This is great. You got a great story. You got a great theme. You can do something fun with poetry. So if you've got something you're sitting on, if you've got an amazing story, get in touch with us.
Yeah, that'll be epic. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's just, exciting, isn't it?
It's all really exciting. And next week as well, we're playing a brand new game, which I want you guys to get involved with. So what I want you to do is I want you guys to we're playing this game called
Round the Rican.
Thank you, Snoop Dogg. It's basically Room 101. Mm-hmm. And we want people to send in voice notes of things they would send.
Round the Rican
with a ding. Things you want to get rid of. But we don't want it to be political or nasty or horrible. Fun things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those dual-sided rubbers when you had it as a kid and they were like, the blue bit can rub out ink. Didn't.
No.
Didn't. So get rid of that. There's no need for that. Yeah. Silly little things get rid of.
Yeah. Like the middle of the pizza, the little pizza table that you sort of get that could be a free miniature for dolls' houses, but, we're not sure why it's there.
I think that's ingenious, though. Because it stops your pizza getting mushed.
Squashed by the box.
Yeah, but maybe, different design. I mean, we can, those little mini bits, you can have advertising in the middle.
Yeah.
We could do Shrewsbury Biscuit pizza advertising. There we go. So every time you open a pizza, there's the Shrewsbury Biscuit staring at you. But send your voice notes and find me or Vicks and then hold the microphone button on Facebook Messenger and then record the audio. And then what I'll do is I'll play yours on an episode and then we'll decide which ones we're going to put on a poll for the week and then let the public decide which one is going on round the weekend. So that's
Round the Rican.
I love that.
I love it too. I want to press it again and again and
do it. Press it.
Round the Rican.
Yeah.
Round the Rican.
Yeah,
Remix.
Yeah. Remix. Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Stu, for letting us use your space. We'll be back again next week with Sean Brennan Todd and yourself. And make sure you guys keep your eyes peeled out for the new social media for Shropshire Business Suite because there'll be something eventually. But for now, just keep an eye on Stuart Woodings. Okay?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Vicks.
Thank you.
Thank you, listeners. Make sure you give us a follow on social media. We'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.
Peace out.
Every time I think